So Paul Ryan kindly dropped by our office yesterday to present his new budget plan. The media was there, and so were Powerline's cameras. And so were the hired SEIU protesters that follow Paul Ryan everywhere he goes, he tells me. But enough of this sideshow. Let's get to some highlights from Paul's speech.
And unfortunately, what we have before us today, beyond just Medicare, are decades of empty promises made by politicians from both political parties that are now coming to the point where those empty promises are soon to be broken promises if we have a debt crisis. And what we have been able to achieve is to show how good people from both sides of the aisle, how reformers who see this coming can fix this and prevent that from happening. They started running ads showing us pushing old ladies off cliffs. They started basically belittling the idea that we could get ourselves back on a path to prosperity. I would simply say, look at where we are now. Look at where the center of gravity has been shifting in this country. What we set out to do last year when we began this process, because this isn't just about numbers, this isn't about math, this is a cause. And it's a cause about reigniting the American idea. It is a cause about looking at the clear future of having a debt crisis that's about to hit us and preventing that from happening. You know, I often ask people, what if your congressman, your president, your senator was here in the early part of the decade and they saw the financial crisis coming? Because I got to tell you, in 2008, I was there for all of that. That was very ugly. That crisis caught us by surprise. We had Ben Bernanke, Hank Paulson, hyperventilating, coming to Capitol Hill, talking about a depression, a deflationary spiral, an absolute crisis. It really caught us by surprise. And then we had to do painful legislating to try and get out of that situation. Trillions of dollars of wealth were lost, millions of jobs lost. But what if your congressman saw it coming? What if your president knew it was going to happen? Knew generally when it was going to happen, why it was going to happen. More importantly, they knew what they needed to do to prevent it from happening, and they had the time to prevent it from happening. But they didn't do it because it wasn't good politics. Because they were afraid some people might run some negative ads about them in their campaign. What would you think of that person? That's where we are today. This debt crisis, it's the most predictable crisis we've ever had in this country. We've been knocked down before in this country. We've had our problems. America has gone through great turmoil, but America has always bounced back. Americans have always done the right thing. One of my favorite politicians in the history was Winston Churchill. They said Americans can be counted upon to do the right thing only after they've exhausted all other possibilities. I think we're at that point right now.